Hello. Hey, Jim. More on the Ford truck project, the Super Dirty. Today, we're going to take care of some stuff about the brakes because this thing's big and heavy and it's got to stop good. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the parking brake. I have it jacked up and on jack stands, as you can see here, but you don't even have to do that. You don't have to take the wheels off or anything, just the back brakes. Let me reposition myself. The parking brake on these trucks is a little drum brake on the inside of the big disc brakes. So in order to adjust it, there's this little rubber plug that I've already removed. And you can see in the hole there's that gear thing on the left side, and that's the thing you rotate. And to make the brake tighter, you want to rotate it clockwise when viewing it from the rear of the truck. So clockwise means that when I put my screwdriver in there, like so, to adjust it tighter, I would want my screwdriver to go up. And then it clicks. Yeah. And on the other side, you will want to turn it clockwise as well. But on the other side, your screwdriver, the handle would come down. But on this side, it's up. And what I did, I adjusted the little thumb wheel thing, the little gear thingy. I just kept turning it and turning it and tightening and tightening and tightening until it pretty much got some hard resistance. And then I backed it off a couple clicks, maybe 2 or 3 clicks, and gave everything a spin, and everything was fine. And just to verify when everything is off, turns freely, nothing's dragging, and when I set the brake, the pedal only goes down about halfway, and it's locked. So, yay! Be sure to put those rubber plugs back in, because they keep all the water and debris and nastiness out of your brakes. So, put them back. I inspected all the brakes, and nothing really screams out for attention too badly. The pads all look pretty good. The rotors look pretty good, but I'm going to flush the brake fluid. In order to flush the brakes on this beast, what I'm going to do, here is our brake fluid reservoir sitting on top of our master cylinder, and it says on the cap to use only DOT3, so that's what we'll use. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a vacuum pump, and I'm going to drain as much of this old dark stuff out of here as I can, completely out, and then refill it with some of that aforementioned DOT3. And then I'm going to go to the furthest wheel away from here and open up the bleed valve and start drawing this fresh stuff down into the system until I get nice clean looking fluid out way back in the back corner. So I'm going to start on the passenger rear, and then I'll go to the driver's side rear, and then I'll go to the passenger front, and then I'll go to the driver front. And by the time we get done, we should have clean fluid all through the whole system. I have to keep an eye on this up here because as I'm drawing stuff out, I'm going to have to keep refilling it. I don't want to draw air down into the system. That would be bad. Here's my vacuum pump setup, and you can see how dark the fluid is that's coming out. So it just slurps it out. It's about time for me to empty that container and come back for more. Okay, we're all done. I need to top it off, and I need to clean the outside off and places where I've spilled a little bit, and it would be awful of me not to say that brake fluid is really, really bad around your paint or anything like that. It will act like paint remover, so be very careful with it around your paint. As I went around and bled all of the brakes, 3 out of the 4 bleed valves, where is it on here? It's right under my finger there. There we go. 3 out of the 4 bleeder valves were clogged, and I had to remove them and completely clean them out with some little picks and some compressed air, and I got them all flowing again. And then my beautiful wife Shannon came out and gave the assist on pumping the brake pedal. I did it the old-fashioned way. My vacuum pump wasn't pulling the stuff through that well, so we just went ahead and did it with the old pressure on the brakes, open the valve, brake pedal drops, hold it, close the valve, pump them back up. So that worked out great. It's got all fresh fluid all through the system. Not that hard of a job. I'm glad it's done. Brakes are important on a big heavy thing like that. Another interesting coincidence is every one of the bleeder valves that were clogged up were missing their little rubber cover. So I just ordered 50 little rubber caps that you can put on them to keep all the grime out. And they also work on Zerk fittings, which we're going to talk about grease Zerk fittings next time, or maybe time after, because I'm going to do the oil change and lubrication of the steering and the rest of the chassis. So that'll be a different day. And also we're going to flush the whole radiator cooling system, and that'll be a different day. The truck's getting some love. The Super Dirty. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is like a whole sewing kit. And of course we need a road map of Los Angeles. This is kind of interesting. It's an old emergency tent for forest fires. United States Forestry Service. Let's have a look at this. Okay, it's sealed. You have to pull this to open it, which I'm not going to do. It says it was made in 1978. Well, let's see what these instructions have to say. Okay, yeah, I can't imagine really being that much fun doing this if a fire is coming right at you. First step, don't panic. Yeah, I don't think this would be very much fun. Terrifying. Hopefully it would work.